Q&A session. My name is Lemnariu Rareș, and I'm the technical lead for Bosch Future Mobility Challenge. I'm an ex-winner from the 2019 edition. And near to me is
Ionut Muntean, project manager for Bosch Future Mobility Challenge, and it's our pleasure to present to you today Bosch Future Mobility Challenge 2021, what it means as a challenge for us, what do you have to do, what are the challenges, and then we are of course open for your questions. So let's start the presentation. Bosch Future Mobility Challenge started in 2018 as an international challenge where we wanted to involve student teams from all across Europe in an autonomous driving competition where the students needed to develop autonomous driving algorithms and compete in a real-like scenario. The competition is aimed for bachelor and master students. Of course, you have great prizes. And you have 6 months for development where you will get guidance from us and also from your mentors from the university. The challenge started slow with 12 teams in 2018. Then we grew to 24 teams that we accepted in 2019. And in 2020, we already had 42 teams from 5 countries: Italy, Hungary, Bulgaria, Romania, and Republic of Moldavia. And this year we expect even more teams, and we are of course waiting for your applications. What you will receive at Bosch Future Mobility Challenge is a car kit that is already assembled. Then you have the startup project and the environmental scripts that you can use. You will of course get documentation, then continuous support over the competition forum from Rareș, mainly next to me. As a timeline, we are now in the final week of the registration phase. The registration started on the 1st of October and it will end this Sunday on the 8th of November. We will have next week Skype interviews with all the teams that register, and the interviews will be from the 10th to the 13th of November. It will be a 1-hour interview with either Rareș, myself, or other members of our team. Then on the 18th of November, you will already receive the confirmation if your team was accepted in the challenge. And at the same time, we will also start sending you the packages that will contain the kit and the basic documentation that you need to develop the challenge. For the development starts with the kickoff on the 23rd of November. It will be an online event where we'll invite all teams and all the team members, all the mentors, all the team members to participate and to first present what does it mean, a challenge, go a little bit more in depth about what it means, the development, and then of course it will be an open session where you can address to us questions, and we will also give you as much information as you need. Then next year we will have the qualifying rounds on the 21st of March. This will be an online event where you need to prove that your algorithms are capable of the basic algorithms and that you are on the final track to finish your whole development by the finals. And then the competition finals, they will be on the 12th to the 15th of May. We will be the semi-finals, and on the 16th of May we will have the finals where the best 10 teams will compete. Of course, what we want to have is that the semi-finals and the finals are on site at our event, and we would like to invite you at that time, all teams, to travel to Cluj and to have the challenge on the actual competition track. To have a glimpse of how is the competition track looking like, you have here some pictures. So you have all environment that you would encounter in a city, from traffic lights. We even have smart traffic lights that send their status. We have intersections that simulate intersections in the city. Then additionally we have ramps, we have highways, we have roundabouts, we have parking slots, we have cars that are static, that are blocked on the road, and then you have to overtake them. We will have moving obstacles, and of course pedestrians that cross the street. And if you are interested in what are the actual challenges that you have to develop algorithms for, is the detection and the stop at a pedestrian that is crossing a street, then you will need to overtake a static car, of course do a parking maneuver, which can be either parallel or perpendicular, recognize and act accordingly at the traffic lights, pass the ramp. So these are the mandatory steps that you need to do. And then you have optional challenges that will give you more points, so that increase your chances of winning the competition. And these are bringing the car to a complete stop when the pedestrian is on the road but not on a traffic light, then doing the overtaking maneuver on a highway when you have a moving vehicle, then passing through the roundabout, of course recalculating the path when you have a road closed. So let's say you're in an intersection and then one section of the road is blocked, then you will have to go either to the left or to the right, and based on the signaling on that lane, you will have to go only on one direction. You will not be available. You will not be able to do the initial path that you settled. And the final one is reach the finish line. As in every event or in every real life scenario, we want to come back home. So this is what we also encourage you, is to start the event, do all the rounds, and then come back at the finish line, which in your case will be also the start line. So now we would like to invite you again to register. The website is boschfuturemobility.com/thechallenge2021, and at this moment we are open for your questions, and we want to have a dynamic event, so we invite you all to put questions to us and we will reply to them. Please write your comments in the comment section on the live stream, and we will reply to each question. And I can't wait to hear your curiosities and your challenge and be able to respond to your events. Until then, we can also present you more about how was last year's event, or the event when Radesh won. What is your experience?
Okay, so the fact that we were able to come to the building and test everything on the real track, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun for us, and during the development also we got to work together with my team. We worked maybe like 6-7 hours a day sometimes, but it was good because we were, I don't know, grab some food and sometimes just go around the city, come back and work, and so it was a really great experience, not only for the challenge but with the people that you interact with during the challenge.
What was the most difficult part in the development phase?
The most difficult part was to actually start and figure out what we want to do and how we want to do it, because since it's a complex project and we hadn't interacted with anything similar until then, yeah, that was the most difficult part, to figure out what we want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And it's good that also Radesh can now bring his experience into the development, and then he can also we can also adapt based on his experience the challenge. So we have the first question. The car kit comes with Raspberry. If so, are allowed any type of cameras?
Yes, it comes with the Raspberry, but any modification to the kit that you want to make, you'll have to request on the forum we also will have a forum of the competition. And after the organizational team, so us give you the going, so that you can implement that modification, you can change it with whatever camera you may choose.
Okay, so of course you will get also a camera. So the camera will be available on the kit. As we said, it's ready to use platform, but then it can be modified. And then the second question is, are we allowed additional sensors? If yes, how many?
Okay, so here depends on what type of sensor you want to choose to put on your car. We don't actually have a limit, only a limit of sensors, but a limit of the type of the sensors. So you can't use sensors that are, for example, harmful to the eye. That's one example.
Mm-hmm. Then, thank you.
Okay.
Then what I see, will mini LiDAR or radar sensors be allowed on the car?
Yes, they will be allowed, but we will not. We won't make it available on the startup kit. So
you can install them. You can buy them if you want, and then you can install them on the car if you wish to add additional sensors.
yes, but always you have to first request it on the forum, and then after the approval, you'll be able to implement it.
So please write to us the questions, because, and we will also explain why, especially in the LiDAR case, there are some legal requirements and you cannot install LiDARs that are too powerful. And that's why we want to have a request from your side, and then we will give you the approval. So in case there is no limitation for the installation, you will be allowed to use it. We will not stop this installation. Then another question is, instead of Raspberry Pi, can we use Jetson Nano?
Yes, there were some teams this year that use Jetson Nano, so you can do it.
Great. And then I see the comments from Adrian, I do not recommend radar, and then so what we have is what we use. It's the kit is already aimed to have all the sensors that you need in order to finish and even win the challenge. So far we had most of the team winning the challenge without any modifications on the car. Some had modification even on the visual side. They put even LEDs on the flashlight or on the indicators of the car, but you have all the sensors and everything that you need to win the challenge. This is how we thought of the kit. Then what is the technical level expected from the team in the interviews? I will answer then this.
Yes,
and then Radesh can also complete me. The idea is that in the interview, we want to know you better. We want to know how you work as a team. We want to know, of course, what is also your previous experience, if you had any other projects that you worked either at the university or in your free time, because that one also helps you to be able to tackle this complex challenge and to be able to deliver the results much quicker, and to pass across the challenges that you might encounter. Regarding the technical expertise, of course, we don't expect you to be professional. You're students, we know this, and we act accordingly. So that's why we want to see, of course, a little bit of work that you have done during your university initiative in the technical part, and to prove us that you can also work with this challenge. It's not a an answer that I can give you exactly what we are looking for. So we are really looking for enthusiastic students that have the right attitude to be able to complete such a long challenge, that work together well in a team, and that they are also willing to sacrifice from their free time, because you will have to work a lot from your free time. And we also expect creativity from your side. So we really want you to bring your best in this challenge, and then to reuse the results that you get here also in your diploma thesis, in your master thesis. So really use them also, or in your semester projects. So Raresh, if you have any other comments.
Yeah. What I would like to underline more of what you not said, that you will be, it's a little bit harsh to say, but judged, let's say it, as a team. So as you complete each other, so as you cover, let's say, more area of the development of the car. So yes. And yeah, we encourage you, since it's a very complex project, we encourage you to develop it to the level of your thesis, or yeah, to the level of your thesis. Thank you.
Great. And now another question: P camera with JTAG connector or a USB webcam?
P camera with JTAG connectors.
This is what you will get on the car.
Yes.
Good. So we are open for questions. Now we reach the final question. So please put us any other questions. In the meantime, I can also let you know maybe more information about how was this year's challenge, because this year we had to go online due to the pandemic, and we were not able to really have the physical challenge here. We had to shift the format of the challenge in the last weeks due to the legal requirements that did not allow us to have so many students here on the premises. And it was also I would say successful event from our side. What we wanted to have is for the students to really be able to show their results, everything that they have worked on this year, to really show it, and then to be able to get the prizes for what they worked for. And we had it in an online format where each team had to present their algorithms, and then also to show how the algorithms work on, of course, also on a video that was recorded on the track. So it was exactly like you were being present on the track, and do the perception. And then they also had to show us videos from the improvised test track, so to show the action movies. One question: how many teams will be accepted this year? Last year we had accepted 42 teams. This year we will not increase a lot. We want to accept around 50 teams, and of course this one will be based also on the experience of the teams. Does the mentor, another question, does the mentor have to be present in the interview? The mentor is not mandatory to be present in the interview. We would like to have the mentor present in the interview, but it's not mandatory. Most of the teams that we interviewed last years, they did not have the mentor. I would say that 90% did not have the mentor in the interview. It's also to allow the teams to express themselves and not being many times stressed being a professor. And so that's why we had most of the teams without the mentor. We like also to have the mentor, and we like to see the mentors involved. Then another question, at the interview, can we show what we built so far? I mean, I got all my old projects at home. Of course, we will be really happy to see it. So it will be a Skype interview with camera, and we will be logged from our office. We will also have the camera open, and you can select. You will either be together with your team or individually, but we want to see the whole team together. And regarding the projects, please show us everything that you have done and that you're proud of. And there were many teams also in the previous years that I've seen that showed us very enthusiastically what they have built, and it was very nice to see them. So in the last years we had most of the interviews live. With the teams from Cluj, we had it in our office, and with the teams from outside Cluj, we prefer to have them in the university, where one of the team members traveled there, and we had the interview in one of the laboratories. And it was very nice to see also the environment that you're working on and the projects that you have developed. So it's really important also for us to see what you're doing.
That's one advantage of the Skype interviews, that you don't have to bring your projects to the buildings. You can have them at home and just show them.
And you can also show us, so it's not only technical experience that you can show us, it's also the involvement in other projects that you have. So not only technical, because in each team you will also have persons that will need to present the results of the challenge, then to motivate you, bring you together, have the role of the project manager. So that's why any extracurricular activity helps you. So think of the team exactly like a group that you want to build, exactly like the best startup that you want to build to be able to tackle this challenge. Then it came also a comment, or prepare a mashup video of all of them, since most of them are about computer vision, or this.
Yeah.
So it will be, of course, not such a big part of the interview. This one of showing the results. We want also to get to know you more. But this one you can select 15 minutes of the interviews and to show us your results. Okay, so at this moment, again, we are in a break of questions. So what we expected this year, because this year it is also the first year when we have partnered with IEEE. If you are in the academic community and you worked on research projects, then you already know what IEEE is. It is the biggest association of electrical engineers, but not electrical engineering in general, engineers. It is a scientific community, research community that have a lot of journals and a lot of conferences. And starting with the 2021 edition, they have also promoted our event. They are our partners. And in case you will go past the interview, you will also receive the kits, and you will see also their symbols there on the cars. And at the end of the competition, you will also receive a diploma also from IEEE. So this shows also the level of complexity of the challenge. It recognizes your work, and that one also will be recognized by all your universities, because the universities recognize all the IEEE challenges.
Yep.
Then another question. All of the team members need to be in Romania. No, they don't have to be in Romania. Being an international competition, you can also have teams made out of students from different universities. They can even be from different countries. And you can also be in different locations. Of course, at the finals, we would like to have every one of you here, and we encourage you to come here, but you can create the team as you wish. We will accept it, so it's not a limitation on the university. And then another question, and the kits will be delivered to each other despite the country. So each team will receive one kit. You will select where it should be delivered. In case you are localized in different countries, then you will have to decide which member will receive the kit. And then you will have to find a solution how to work remotely with one kit. You will receive only one kit per team, so it will not be for each team member. So you can ask us also other questions that are of your interest if you want. So we are here to answer your questions and your curiosities.
Yeah.
But this year our aim was to have over 10 participants from over 10 countries. So, and always what we want to have is to create a community. So you will see that the forum is open. We really encourage you to talk to each other. So to see this as a competition, but also as a platform where you can collaborate, to get to know students from our other locations, to get to even work together, and when you have a challenge, to be able to support each other together. And we also had some situations when this year there were questions put by some teams, and then they were answered by other teams. And this is what we want to still keep active, and to be able to for you to really support each other. Because if you support each other in solving the simple problems or the more complex problems, then in the end you will be able to advance quicker and to increase together also the whole level of the competition. I would be really curious to know from which cities you are. So in case you want to share this on the comment, then please do. Because we had so far, from which cities did we have teams this year?
This year we have from Cluj, Timișoara, Oradea, Bucharest, I'm not sure about Brașov, Iași. Yeah. We have a team from Malta, one from Luxembourg, one from Budapest. So, yeah, we have people from everywhere.
So these are the teams that already registered at this moment. Of course, there's still 1 more week, and we expect more applications. Has any of the teams in the previous editions completed all the challenges?
Yes, for sure. That was in every edition we had one. But what you've seen before, it's a new way of organizing the challenge, because before we had one scenario that had to be completed by every team, which was the same. But now we have these cumulative scenarios. So if you are, let's say, new to the challenge, or you don't have enough experience, or you don't manage to finish all the parts of your project in time, you can just avoid some of the challenges and still take part and have fun at the competition. But of course, if you're more experienced and if you manage to do everything, we encourage you to do the whole challenge, the whole list that you've seen before.
So what we have aimed for is to offer the chance to win for each team that participates for the first time. At this moment, the competition is still at the level that can be won by a new team. Of course, you need to invest a lot of energy. You need to also research a lot on your own, but you can win the challenge, even if you are the first participation. And we have also each year teams that are coming from the second time, and it helps them a lot because they already have some of the algorithms developed, and then they can also improve them even more. New teams really can win the challenge.
Yeah, that was the last year case, and this year case we had new teams on the podium every time. So, yeah.
Okay. Then I see also that there are teams from Turin and from Arad, Romania. So we also had last year one team from Turin. I'm happy that we have again Politehnica de Turin in the challenge and interested to join us. We had also from Budapest and from Bulgaria, from Sofia. Then another question. What platform will be used to develop the system? Will it be Raspberry Pi?
We are giving you a Raspberry Pi, and which is like the control unit of this platform, but you can, as we talked before, change it and use your own. After that, we have another platform which is a Nucleo. That's a motor driving board. It has implemented code that receives messages via serial, and you, with the speed that you want the car to go and the steering angle. But you can also change that code too.
Okay. Then another question. How are we going to show the progress of the project during the preparation of it? Animations, live videos, or something else? Also, I'm from Cluj. Great. Okay, Radesh, please.
So every month you'll have to send a status via our website. That will have to have three parts. One is a report, a technical report, where you will have to write what difficulties you encountered, how you overcame them, what technologies you used, maybe what technologies you've seen that don't work.
In maximum 2 pages.
Yes, in maximum 2 pages. You'll have to send a project plan, which can be adapted, and we encourage you to adapt it every month. Since at the beginning, as I said before in the description, that you don't know what you're doing, so you can figure out as you go and change it. And one multimedia file, so a video or a collage or some pictures of what your car is capable of doing.
We have the boundary and the recommendations from you, and then you are free to show us how your car works in each month. It can be a simulator, it can be a real video with the car, a car in front of the computer. It depends.
Yeah.
It
depends on you. We just give you directives, not standards that you have to use.
Okay, then will teams from Cluj-Napoca have the kits delivered to them, or will they be required to pick them up? So this one we will decide in 1 week. If there is a restriction, then we will send them to you per post, so that you don't have to have physical contact with anybody. So we will decide on the best option that ensures the safety of everyone. We are at the office at this moment. Of course, we don't want to put you in danger if you to travel to our office if you don't want to, and therefore we will decide at the moment of sending the kits.
Yeah.
If we will send to everybody at that moment, we will inform you. Then during this year's finals, the team had the option to run their code into a simulator, on a video, or on an improvised track. Which of these alternatives worked best in your opinion? So I don't know if there's a worked best.
Yeah.
The goal is for sure for your algorithms to run correctly. That's what you should aim for. And what we schedule for this year is that the finals will take place physically here in our premises, and therefore you will need to have your code running on the track. So therefore an improvised track that you have is a good exercise that can help you and prepare you. What we also will provide you is by the end of January, we will also provide you what is the alternative in case we cannot have the final events at our premises. And therefore you will receive two scenarios, and we will modify the scenario based on the legal requirements at that moment.
Yep.
Then one comment, I think I'm gonna paint my yard with black paint spray and white black spray because that robot is big. It is not that big, but you can also do it, and we've seen it also in the apartments of some of the competitors. You can also do it with white lines and not with black lines on a white surface, or on a light brown surface. They also had it on their apartments with a black line. So please take this also in mind, that the algorithms recognize also the edges and not all the time only the color and not only the white. So you should be robust, and it helps also in the robustness. But with green, if you have grass, then I don't know how it will work.
Just let us know.
Okay, other curiosities that you're interested from us?
I can say a little bit more about the videos that we requested last year. So since not all the teams have the same development, so the same thinking development, it's not necessarily good or bad to send a physical video or video of the simulator. Here it depends on you, and it's nice to see how well you adapt to the situations. Because, for example, if your team is split between more cities, in this case you can adapt and I don't know, have a virtual environment or yeah.
Okay, the comment is that the hardest part is to deal with the fact that OpenCV is made for Intel, not ARM, and expect that some algorithms that are usually used, I think, fast drop low to 2 frames per second on Raspberry. So due to the fact that OpenCV is optimized for Intel, then on ARM you get a decrease in the performance of the frames per second.
Yeah, you do get a little bit of decrease in the performance, but it's not so low. We had teams that used the OpenCV with the Raspberry, and they had 15 FPS.
So you should also optimize the algorithms. Think of this. You will also receive the documentation,
Yep.
and also look at the documentation of how to have the best performance on the hardware that you get. One question: how does the background of the mentor affect the team in the registration phase? It doesn't affect the team in the registration phase. So it's, as I said, if you think as an entrepreneur, you want to have the best team. And then, of course, you look for mentors that can support you. We will support you remotely, and you will get support from us over the forum. You will get also from the other teams. The closest to you is, though, your mentor. And therefore, you should have somebody that is either willing to learn new algorithms or new technologies that he's not used to, and to be able to support you, or have somebody that really has a lot of background and that can support you. Okay, then it's a comment crying in TensorFlow, basic math stuff are okay. Maybe you can share, Radesh, something that surprised you from the teams that you received in a positive way.
Something that surprised me.
Yes.
It was the way of thinking of how to show your work. It was so diverse and spontaneous in some cases, because in some cases we had to change the things, especially right now with the pandemic. We had to change the things really fast, and all of the teams adapted and made a really good way of displaying their work, even from the qualifying rounds from last year to the final rounds. Uh, yeah, everyone adapted so good and so fast, and they seen what works, and that you don't only have to have necessarily the best algorithm. You have to know how to show that you have the best algorithm, because when you are showing it to somebody else that didn't work on your project, uh, you don't have the time to explain everything, so you have to choose what are the most important things to say and show, and in what manner.
And I was also impressed by the creativity of designing the test tracks
Yeah,
and of
that's
showing how your algorithms worked, because we've seen test tracks that were built in the courtyard of the university with the white chalk and with water to increase the color gradient to make the tarmac more black. Then we've seen them on the apartment, going through the kitchen, in the dormitory, around the bed, with the parking slot there. We've seen everything, and also on simulators. So use all the opportunity, and that's why we also have this challenge that is open to allow you to think exactly like you're in the development. You need to solve a problem. How you solve it, it's up to you, and therefore there it's your place or your freedom to shine, I would say. Then I see the response for the background of the mentor. Even if the mentor is not a professor but a researcher, as long as he is knowledgeable, it's okay. Yes, so you need to be either studying PhD or researcher at the university. It can, of course, also be a professor. So this one is your choice that you select the mentor. There is also no I would say no stop of talking to each other. So if there are more teams from one location, please share the algorithms together. You can also develop together. The only goal here is that the development is done by the persons that are really part in the competition. But hints, please be free to access any sources or friends that can support you with algorithms. As long as they don't code for you, then it's okay for us.
And you can very well share the resources. As Janut said before, that we had many teams coming from the same university, and they only made one test track that all of them can use. Or maybe you can have more batteries that are like share them between each other, so that way you don't have to wait if one gets discharged. So yeah, share everything. It will only help you.
And if you ask us why don't the teams from Cluj have access to our facility, is that we want to have the same infrastructure for all the teams that participate in the competition, and not to advantage any of the teams. And that's why we also don't allow the teams that are from Cluj to come to our location and to test their algorithms in the test track. Will we also receive battery chargers?
Yes, you will receive one battery and a battery charger together with the kit. So you have everything.
So each team receives the kit, the battery, and the battery charger. I think 2 years ago, we started also with sending the battery chargers, and we also wanted to increase the communication and the cooperation between the teams, and we had sent only one charger per location. That in some locations worked, in some did not work so well. But in this year's situation, then we will not do this, and each of the teams will receive a battery charger. And this year you will get also a simulator.
Yes, you will have a gazebo simulator that you can just plug in and play with it. That you can use for developing, for controlling whatever you may want. But it will be available towards the end of the year.
So to test your algorithms on the simulator.
Yeah. And beside that, you'll have lots of videos from the track, from the car's perspective. That way you can test all your image processing algorithms on the videos, and then maybe act on the simulator. Yeah.
What motors the car has?
It's a DC motor of 7.4 volts. It's one from Relay, but yeah, it's nothing that special.
Usual DC or with ESC?
No, usual DC.
It's one motor that it has, with an encoder on it, so that you also know what is the distance that the car has spent.
Yep.
And you get all the cars this year in a cool orange-red color. So we changed also the casing on the color, and now they are really attractive, the cars, and we also like them.
Yeah.
And then what is also important to know that the final 10 teams will be able to keep the kits for themselves. So next to the prizes that you can win, then you will also be able to keep the kits. We recommend that you continue the development on them, or you really involve other younger students from your universities. And I see here encoder equals mapping. What you should also know is that our competition has a GPS.
Yeah.
So this is one of the big advantages that makes us unique. We have a video-based GPS, so you'll have a QR code on your cars, and then you will receive your position streamed to the car. So that way you know where your car is. Of course, with a deviation, as in normal, as how normal GPSs work. And it helps you to know the position, and also to send the position to other elements on the track. So we want to really to have a communication also between the environment and the car, and this is how the GPS is supporting this.
Yep. We have a small smart city
take advantage of the smartness.
Yes.
And we expect your car to even be smarter than everything else.
And beside the GPS system, the local camera localization system, you will also have a nice smart IMU sensor from Bosch that will be integrated in the kit, so you can double, triple validate your position on the map.
So the final 9 minutes. We expect more questions from your side. So we've seen Arad, if I'm right, then Cluj and Turin. What other cities are you from? Last year also, due to the online advantage, I would say this year we'll also be able to give you the response and to have everything in a shorter period of time, because we can have the interviews in 1 week. All the time since this year we needed to have 2 weeks for the interviews due to the travel time. So we were, I think, every day in a different city, having 3 or 4 interviews, and then going to the next city, again a few interviews, and the local interviews on Cluj. So I see that there are students from Bucharest and Cluj. Hello from us. Is it possible to implement torque vectoring on the car?
Yes, you can try to implement it, and I hope you will succeed. So yeah, you can do it, but we don't make it available.
We encourage you also to test and use the kit to the maximum, and also share with the others or with us the algorithms that you are developing. So I see that there are no questions at this moment. Then I will also ask Radesh another question.
Okay.
What is improved in this year's kit compared to the last year's kit?
Okay, so what's improved? First of all, we have the IMU sensor, the smart IMU sensor. Last year we gave it as an extra equipment during the competition, and we made an extra challenge within the challenge that the teams could try to play with the sensor by themselves and integrate it in the car by themselves. But this year we've integrated it with basic reading from it, and we also have a power distribution board that will make the cablistic, the cabling on the car, it looks more beautiful and more clean, let's say it, and you can add sensors or some other things very very easily to it. And of course the casing. You will see it.
So you have also, apart from the camera that you need to have for perception, and with the camera, of course, you can do all the challenges that we have here. We have also integrated the IMU, the inertial measurement unit, that is a Bosch sensor tech, and that one helps you also to in the path planning and also in the localization to be sure that you are on the correct spot. And you can also do simultaneous localization and measurement from the EMU, then using also the GPS signal, and then also the encoder on the car, so you can pinpoint more precisely your car on the track.
It can also help you figure out what's the best speed to have in a certain point of the map. So if you're turning, you maybe want to slow the speed a little bit, or if you're on the ramp, you want to give more power to the motor. So yeah, you can use it in lots of ways. What about the jury?
So you will have, for the jurization, you will be scored during the development. So in each month, you will receive a score based on the reports that you send us, and you will receive the score only if you send a report until the deadline. So please keep the deadline. If you're not able to keep the deadline for one report, then you get 0 for that report. Then you will have the elimination round or the semifinals. In the semifinals, it's a pass or no pass event, and that's why you have to prove us that your algorithms can really go through the challenges that we have at that moment. And then we have the jury of the semifinals. In the semifinals, it will be a technical jury composed of Bosch engineers, Bosch colleagues that have experience in the field. This year we had Rares, who is now the technical lead of Bosch Future Mobility Challenge. We had Nandor, who was the previous technical lead of the challenge. Then we had one of the first edition winners, Bianca, that was also knows very well the challenge. And we also have another colleague that is in the perception team. And then in the finals, we have representatives from Bosch, from the universities, and we will also have next year representatives from IEEE. And we will also share who will be the jury with at least 1 month in advance. So you will have also the jury members. So I see more question. What perception sensors will be available? The camera and the EMU.
Yeah, the camera and the EMU. Those are the only. Those are the 2 perception sensors that you will get from us.
And then there's the freedom to add your own sensors.
Yep.
And now what I see, were there any teams that wrote their code in C++ instead of Python?
So during the development, not all the teams choose to share what they are using for the development. But yeah, some of the teams did let us know that they were using C++, and some other teams that they were using Python. Yeah. So there were projects written with.
So the answer is yes. We know only at the finals,
Yeah.
or when we need to jury in the semifinals.
Yes.
Okay, so I see we're coming now to end. So I would personally like to thank you, and can't wait to see you also in person. The students that were behind this live streaming, to see you at the interview. And I wish you lots of success in your university, and good luck at the application from my side.
Thank you very much for your attention. I can't wait to see your applications on the website and to meet each other at the interviews. We have a video right now to show you. It's
Yes.
the after movie of the last edition, so you can see how the online Bosch Future Mobility Challenge went.
Enjoy and good luck, and we wait for your registration. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Welcome to the 3rd edition of Bosch Future Mobility Challenge.
everybody, all the teams.
Let's start the race. Take a look.
We had 14 teams in the semifinals, and now we are left with 10 teams. It's our highlight event.
And it's great to see what's coming next. Your ideas of today, which you're representing here, might become a future technology. And it's really great what you have achieved so far.
I want to thank you, Bosch.
It's a new era, it's a new way of engineering.
Congratulations again.
It's been a tough road.
The first place goes to... Congratulations.
Thank you a lot. It is an unexpected result.
You are all winners.